All right, check me out. Got that new Olympic drip representing Tokyo, Japan, because that's where I'm at, world's most expensive city. Check out the polo shirt. I got the sleeves looking all nice and crispy there. Got the logo on the side. It's nice, man. It's real nice. Got that nice new drip. Wearing it for the first time today. Anyways, today's episode is definitely not about that, but just wanted to show it off because that's what I have on at the moment, wearing it for the first time. Olympics is over. It's kind of old news now, but, you know, still have to represent for the city that I'm at. It's where I'm at, man, so you got to represent. Right before we get started, a quick plug. Make sure you get my books. Now I got 3 of them out. The first one, 50 Japanese Whiskeys, came out in 2020, July. And you got the centennial edition of The Ideal Bartender. And subsequently came out on the same day, Julian's Recipes, also the centennial edition. Both of these books came out on Juneteenth of this year. Make sure you get them. Make you some high-end cocktails and enjoy yourself. We getting ready to pour a drink right now. What I got here, the Yamazaki single malt whiskey. Poured inside of my nice Glencairn. And after we have this pour, we're getting ready to get into the meat of today's show. Ooh. Switch that around a little bit. Blow those fumes off of there. Nice dark chocolate aromas. Sweet. Tastes just the same as it smells. Kampai, definitely one of my favorites there. All right. Title of today's video, I think I'm going to call it Kevin Samuels and ABBA and Preach, Ether, Fresh and Fit. It sounds like a fitting title. I got my notes in front of me because I don't want to forget anything. I mean, I'm kind of going off the cuff a little bit, but I got, just a few bullet points here so that I don't leave anything out. First, if you're watching my program and you don't know any of these other 3 programs, I guess I do need to do a quick introduction to all 3 just to get you guys up to speed on what the hell it is that I'm even talking about. So first, the introduction. If you don't know any of these people, I watch at least 2 of these shows I watch religiously. The other one, I just kind of passively watch here and there. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But first, I'm going to introduce Kevin Samuels. He is an image consultant who offers dating and relationship advice for the most part on his channel to men and women. And he's a very controversial figure. Some people would even say infamous. But to me, he's very famous because I get every single one of his pop culture references that he makes, every sarcastic remark. And I agree with his viewpoint, let's say 90% of the time. And the 10% of the things that I may disagree with him on or have disagreement with him on, the way that he logically speaks, he's starting to even win me over on those things. So, the guy is like my older brother. And that's all I could say. He truly is. And there are 2 things that are stopping me from being him and that have stopped me from being him. Previously, before he came on the scene, I used to look at another guy, Tommy Sotomayor. I mean, if you're inside of my sphere and you you might understand or know who I'm talking about, but everybody's not going to get it. But he was the guy that I used to watch predating Kevin Samuels, and he just, not to say that he's not a good guy, it's just his show kind of ran its course and he got burnt out, and he's just not popping anymore. He's not that hot. And what do I want to say about Tommy? Man, I'm not hating on this guy. Just the way he ran his program, and his anger gets the best of him when he brings on guests onto the show and things like that. And just his execution has not been there, so I have not been a dedicated follower like I used to be. When I first came on to him and found out about the guy, he was something fresh, something new, but then it just kind of became a tired old endless cycle, just watching his program, and day in and day out it was the same thing just over and over again. So I got burnt out on looking at the guy. But Kevin Samuels came on the scene last year, and he's like the new and improved, updated model of Tommy Sotomayor, so to speak. And I think I forgot to mention the two things that are stopping me, or have stopped me from running a program here that is very similar to what Kevin Samuels is doing over on his platform, is one, he's a very well-versed speaker. He has the gift of the tongue, whether you think that is an authentic tongue or whether you think it's a silver tongue. Regardless of what you believe, he's still a very good speaker. And I'm not, for the most part, a very eloquent speaker. You hear me just stutter my words just now. So, with that said, I can't really command and hold the attention span like he can on his program for a long duration of time. So there's that. And I don't have the guts to talk as frank and direct to people as he does, and even if I disagree with them. So that's the other thing that he has over me. But he's definitely my representation, and just looking at the program is just kind of emboldening me to want to try some new things, even over here on this channel. So that was my very long introduction to Kevin Samuels. Abba and Preach, let me try to keep this short. Just two guys that speak truth, integrity, and some moralistic values in a very eloquent way on their program. They're well versed in all subject matter. They're very charismatic and down to earth, and they just talk about absolutely everything on their show. So they're also my guys. So with that said, that means those are the two programs that I watch religiously. And the other one that I just kind of passively watch is called Fresh and Fit. It's something that I just found about 2 months ago. And, these are two guys that have, I just kind of just found it out today that these are two guys that have just kind of faked it until they made it. And, wow. They do a daily relationship program, podcast sort of thing. And I watch it because I like the concept and I like the setup, but I don't necessarily like the execution, or them for that matter. I just don't like their personalities. And I got to be honest with you, I don't like their faces, to be honest with you. So especially Myron, he goes by the name Fit, and he runs the program like a Sharia law dictatorship. And God forbid you see anything different from him, because he'll just straight up kick you off the show. And you can't debate with the guy. And I suppose that's the only way he can remain a dominant force on his own program, is that if he's the only one on camera. When you're the only one inside the room, of course you could be the dominant force. So there's that. So what's this whole show about today? Well, it appears that Abba and Preach had went on their program quite recently. I had just found out about it this morning, actually. And Abba and Preach had talked with Fresh and Fit. They go back to their own program, and then they critique the Fresh and Fit show authentically, not the clout chase, but just just being very real about their experience there, about their disagreements, the topics that they talk about and things like that. And unfortunately, these guys, Fresh and Fit, they couldn't handle it. So these boys, you know, from that program, these are the things that they did quite recently. They insulted Preach. They insulted the people of Haiti, and they insulted Preach's wife. On top of that, they challenged Preach to a boxing match in which they have backed out from of the match that they tried to instigate. And one of the guys went out and bought a gun just yesterday because they're scared of the beef that they instigated from the get-go. So, very hypocritical guys, very weak men. I can't even say men. They handle things like children over there on their program, and just absolutely crazy. And today, Kevin Samuels, he had a program in which he low-key roasted and ethered the Fresh and Fit boys without even saying their names for the whole 2-hour program that he ran. And that was the most cold, calculated, and boss thing. I mean, nobody's operating on that level, and that was just absolutely, that was it, man. Today's show was one of the best that I've seen from Kevin. And the title of that one, you do got to make sure that you watch it. It's called Do High Value Men Pay? So please make sure that you go and watch that. But Fresh and Fit, they will have you believe that they're alphas, but with the way that they behave and they can't handle criticism or they can't debate. Wow. The Kevin Samuels show today, man, he came to the defense of some people, and he shut that down of what they're over there preaching on the Fresh and Fit channel, so to speak. Man. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. I'm getting a little bit excited here. When you have two dogs going at it with one another, and you know they're both on opposite sides of the fence, when you take away that barrier, you were to open up the gate between the two, right? And the one that had the loudest bark, once they go quiet, I mean, it really starts to show who was the beta and who was the alpha, you know, the whole time. So, man, just make sure that you get in tune with these guys' program, meaning Abba and Preach. You know, they did like 5 videos over the course of the past 5 days, letting you know every instance of when these guys Fresh and Fit disrespected, how they disrespected, and, you know, you could see their retort and see how they shut them down, and you could see how Kevin Samuels shut them down as well. But Kevin Samuels shut them down about something totally different, because this guy Fit gets on and he's like, man, I don't need to pay for that. And, you know, you know, they're going to get called out for their bullshit. So it is what it is, man. Anyways, before I start rambling, let me have another sip of my dram here. Yamazaki single malt whiskey. One of my absolute favorites. Make sure you guys get them books. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. Salute to you wherever you may be. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. See you guys in the next one.